everybody, welcome. Alright, so I have a vinyl haul for you guys. Always love doing these. Lots of records. I got some CDs and cassettes as always. So let's get right into it. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I wanted to squeeze this in before I got too busy. It's been a good month. I got a lot of stuff to show you. So starting off here with a couple of swap meet finds. This is actually all from the swap meet. Starting out with Deep Purple. This is, I think, their self-titled album because I don't see a title anywhere. But I just think it's really weird how they recorded this. In fact, the paper sleeve on there, it's like a sticker. And then, look at this cassette. It's super suspect. I don't even know what to say about it. Like, they literally just wrote the name in with a typewriter. And the track listing looks super basic. But it sounds great. It actually sounds amazing. Don't have any of their music on any platform, I guess, digital or vinyl. So to find this was cool. It was $3 for $1, but then he let me take all 4 of them for $1. So there was this one here. This was actually the last one that I found. Santana's Greatest Hits. You have Evil Ways, Black Magic Woman, Oye Como Va. Just a clear cassette. But yeah, also super clean, sounds amazing. Santana's pretty dope, so I had to throw him in there. This next one was something I geeked out on. It's the Breakfast Club soundtrack. It's on chrome tape, so it's a better quality sounding cassette, apparently. Watched the movie, fell in love with the music and the movie itself. Super classic, so that's awesome. Hopefully I can find it on vinyl someday. And then the last one that I picked up from him was Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Just amazing, bona fide classic, jazz standard here. You don't have this in your collection, you have to own it. I have it on vinyl, but now I have it on cassette. Maybe I'll find a copy on CD one day, like a really nice deluxe reissue of it. But yeah, I used this album in John Coltrane's The Love Supreme to kind of break the ice into jazz and kind of started digging into it that way. So it's a great introductory album and artist. So if you're interested, you can do that. Moving on here with the CDs. Starting off with, I think, a legend. Lou Reed. It's his, it's called Between Thought and Expression. Well, okay, so as I figured out, the case says number 2, and there's a series of these CDs, but the CD says 3. So I got it at the Goodwill. They always flip the CDs. Sometimes they don't have anything inside. I must have just not paid attention very well, because all the songs on the CD do not match the track listing on the back. I just got so excited to find something from him that I just didn't matter. But it's actually still pretty good. I'm happy with it. Hopefully I'll find the correct case one day. Probably not. But there's that. These were all $1.99. This next one here is Herbie, Hancock. Perfect Machine. Just a trip to listen to. Really interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I mean, I'm used to his music by now because I have a couple other CDs that I picked up. But it's always just so out there and just so beautiful. And I'm not going to front. I'm not going to act like I know what it's all about and understanding it. There's like deeper level. I'm just here for the pretty sounds pretty much at this point and just trying to grasp whatever I can, and then hopefully one day it'll make more sense. But until then, I'm going to continue to listen to it and see where it takes me, and hopefully I can find more of his music. So there's that one there, and this down to the last 2. We have the Lumineers, self-titled. It's one of those paper sleeve albums. I like the Ophelia single that came out. It was on the radio for a while, and then they had the Ho Hey song as well. But this whole album is actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it, so I'm really happy that I found it for $1.99. Hopefully I'll get the second one soon. I like to find all my music as it comes. Like, I know I can go to the store and buy it, but when you find it after digging for a while, it kind of just makes everything worthwhile. So there's that one, and then finally, this is actually a great come up here. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Big Fugees fan. I love this album. Just a classic. So I couldn't pass it up for $2. So now I own it. Hopefully one day, of course, I'll have it on vinyl, but it's like really expensive, so we'll see. Now, speaking of vinyl, let's jump into the stack here because I have quite a bit to show you. Starting off with the record of the month from Vinyl Me Please. Ready to Die. This amazing reissue, pressed for vinyl. Apparently, someone mentioned to me, I think it was on Instagram, that they actually included the original samples that were taken out because of copyright issues. So this is like the complete pressing of this album, and let me show you the record. It's a double LP, both pressed in these amazing splatters. If you want to see more detail of the unboxing, it's linked somewhere. You can find it on the sidebar probably. Watch me unbox it and geek out. But I've been listening to it for the last week that I've had it, and I mean, I know this album. This is a classic. This is a grail album that I've always wanted in my collection. Just to hear it on vinyl is just like this really crazy feeling. And again, it sounds amazing. They outdid themselves. So Vinyl Me Please, as always, give yourself a nice pat on the back. Applause for you, because that was worth every penny. Now, let's move on to the next record here. This is actually sent to me earlier this month. Well, I reviewed it earlier this month by buddy Jimmy. You check him out. He's on YouTube as well. Does great on actually he does a lot of vinyl hauls and just has amazing taste in music. So check him out. I will link him down below. Show him some love. He sent me Jim Reeves collection. It's a double LP, super clean copy. First time listening to his music. He sent it to me because I love Patsy Cline, and he said that if I loved her, I will definitely love his music, and he couldn't have been more right. Just an amazing velvety, low, just amazing voice. I wasn't sure what to expect, and to hear all his greats, you know, kind of played out in 2 albums, you really get the sense for his range. He was able to sing contemporary pop and then some really like honky-tonk westerns. He even covers "I Fall to Pieces" by Patsy Cline, which is one of my favorite songs, and he did it justice. Like that, it was just an incredible cover. You have "The Blizzard," which is really sad song. That'll bring a tear to your eye. And then some of his earlier classics like "Bimbo" and "Mexican Joe." "Four Walls" is another great song as well. So I couldn't have asked for a more perfect album. Jimmy, again, thank you so much. I've been enjoying it for the longest time now that I've had it, and it's just one of my favorite albums out of the stack, to be honest with you. It's just because of all that value that it has now. If you want to see that unboxing video of this or a review video of it, check it out. It'll be somewhere in the sidebar as well. Okay, so I grew my Journey collection by 2 albums. This one is, I think, the self-titled one. It's a little beat up on the sleeve, got some ring wear, but the album actually is very, very clean. I'm not the biggest Journey fan. Like I've never really listened to their music, so to listen to it on vinyl has been a real treat. I realized how heavy they actually got on some of the songs. Really, just beautiful music, and it's not just, you know, the hit singles or whatever. So I appreciate that because I've heard those songs to death. So to hear all these new songs from them has been just, again, amazing. This is Look Into the Future. This actually looks a little better, and it is a promo copy. I don't know if you can see it shimmering in the corner there. So that's kind of cool too. So 2 new Journey albums. I got those for $1 a piece, along with this here, which is a Shot in the Dark as well. I just bought it because of the cover. It's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna front. Back of that stare. It's Leon Russell. Apparently Elton John was super influenced by him. He plays the piano and he just really loved his music, and yeah, he just showed a lot of love to him, and I can understand why he thought he was an amazing musician, because this guy was just super talented. I Put a Spell on You, amazing. Shootout on the Plantation is my favorite song on this album. Something about it, it kind of has, it's like pre-grungy sounding, where it has that low, slow build up to the chorus, which is very loud and just exciting. He did that a lot throughout the song, so I always really enjoyed that. So I think maybe that's why I liked it a lot. But he has an amazing voice, and again, he can play the piano like no other. It's traditional like American music, so it's kind of folky as well. Definitely worth looking into. Leon Russell. Hopefully I can find more of his music. And this next one here, I almost died. I've been wanting this in my collection forever. Public Enemy's. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. They reissued this, I'm pretty sure now, like at least 2 or 3 times. I wanted you know, an older copy of it. I don't know if this is like an original. I need to look into it. But it comes with everything and it's super clean. Got it for $1. So I almost ran out the store with it because I was like, dude, I couldn't put my money down fast enough. This album is in super mint condition. Got into this this album in general because of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. I got into the Dead Kennedys because of that too, into some ska to an extent. But yeah, they had just an amazing soundtrack. So if I could find that soundtrack, I would buy it. But yeah, that turned me on to Public Enemy. Bring the Noises on there, so definitely really enjoyed that ever since. Alright, so this next one here is another band that I've been introduced to because of a movie or a video game. It's Electric Light Orchestra. Out of the blue. This is the second album I own that I found. So I had to have it. I actually discovered them because of Billy Madison. There's a scene where Adam Sandler's calling Steve Buscemi and Telephone is playing in the background. And I remember hearing that in Spanish because they did a Spanish version of that song. So my mom used to play it all the time. I figured out who it was, and then I started just buying their records. And this is all like recent too, so kind of cool. And then like it comes with all the original sleeves on the inside. And super clean record with the awesome Jet Records inner labels. Hopefully I can find the one album that has the song Telephone on there. I think it's New Speed Record or something like that. I gotta look it up, but it's just another one for the collection. And then finally, the last album. I want to say is actually a little crazier and weirder than the Herbie Hancock that I have in the stack here. It's Marion Brown. This is the Geechee Recollections. This is a promo, not for sale copy, Impulse ABC label. It's actually a gatefold. It's a breakdown of the music and the influences that inspired the music. And then of course the back. It's got a lot of interesting music on here, a lot of African traditional instruments. And there's like some poetry kind of just slapped into the middle of the songs. Definitely never heard anything like this before. Again, a blind pickup, obviously. Wasn't sure what to expect, and I was actually very, pleasantly surprised. I was very entertained by this album, and I don't know, it kind of just pushed what I understood jazz music to be. So, I'm still kind of fresh and new to it. So this is great. I didn't completely get turned off by this album, so that means that maybe I'm developing a taste for it, or at least I'm being open-minded enough to listen to it. Which is a great sign. I love that. So anyways, that is the last record, again, of the stack. You made it this far. Thank you so much. It always means the world to me for you guys to check out the videos, to leave your feedback. Make sure to follow me, social media platforms, all linked in the description below. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys on the next one.